So, BSSO, in my opinion, is one of the messiest situations to happen in the Star Stable community as for now. Everything is still ongoing, so I might make an update video, but for now, I'm going to talk about the situation with all of you. Whether you already know about it or you might never have heard of it, buckle in because there is a lot to unpack here. This video is going to have two topics, one of which is BSSO itself, and the other one being the controversial person, Aviana / Emily Bondevik. I'm mainly going to be talking about Aviana, but I felt like I needed to provide some context as to what BSSO is in order to understand the situation. But if you're already educated about BSSO, then I would skip to the Aviana part because that's really what I'm getting into. Disclaimer. This video contains talk about topics such as pedophilia, homophobia, and rape. Your discretion is advised. So, what is a better way to start off the video with just talking about BSSO and what is it really? I think that most Star Stable players have probably heard of BSSO by now or even know what it is. The 26th of July 2024, a private server with the name of BSSO, which stands for Better SSO, came online. And this Better SSO game was a 2017 version of Star Stable Online, so it was basically the game in its state that it was in 2017. It included the old graphics, old horses, updates, etc. And this was to become fairly popular at the time because many Star Stable players have for a long time wanted to be able to kind of like go back in time and play the older versions of the game. But as people started to download this application, things did not look good because as soon as you downloaded the game or started it, many people's antivirus clients would go crazy and seemed to flag a lot of viruses in BSSO. This obviously made people concerned about the game. Not only would it be illegal to make a copy of Star Stable, but the developer also added paid features that we see in the regular game, such as Star Rider. However, in this case, the money would go straight to the developer, and to me this already sounds very shady, but it's not too uncommon in the video game world. And at this time, a lot of people would actually still go on to play and use BSSO. And this became quite popular actually, especially on TikTok. I've seen so many videos of it on TikTok. I've seen a lot of people use BSSO. After a while of BSSO being out, the first allegations towards BSSO surfaced, and these allegations included that BSSO was allegedly stealing information and money from players of BSSO. Now I want to introduce a group of players called Horsey Game Preservation, which we will get into them later, so put a pin on the name. Anyways, Horsey Game Preservation ran the BSSO client through a program which should detect viruses, and let's just say the result weren't looking very good for BSSO. Several players claimed to have their bank information stolen and malware intruding their computers by the viruses found in BSSO. And as this situation was growing, more and more people came out to agree that BSSO is a virus. And the actual Star Stable team seemed to have noticed this situation, and they came out with a statement where they say, "A friendly reminder to always download your games from trusted sources, such as official websites, and in SSO's case, we only offer our games from starstable.com, Apple Store, Google Play Store, and Epic Store. Be cautious about where you input your login credentials and avoid downloading anything that you're uncertain about. Your gaming journey should always be fun and secure. Stay safe and ride on." However, this statement was to be removed after only being out for a little while, and Star Stable has not mentioned the situation since. This whole BSSO is a virus hysteria seemed to really upset the developer of BSSO, and the developer stated that the best argument I can think of as to why it's not a virus. Why would someone literally spend months on building a system for making the old game run? sell it, but also put a virus into the files. It is true that antivirus clients can alert to things that aren't actually a virus and does not contain harmful content in any way. One example to this can be Alicia Online, which many people's antivirus clients react to, but it's not actually dangerous. So antivirus clients are also known for reacting to cracked games, so a lot of people think that that might be why it's reacting, because this BSSO is a cracked game. The BSSO developer's Discord account was eventually banned, and the download website to BSSO was also taken down. While this was happening, it seemed like the servers were still running, and the BSSO developer also said that they would let the servers run for 40 days at least to make people get their money's worth, but they weren't sure if they were going to continue beyond that due to the backlash that the developer was facing. But the question is BSSO really a virus or not? And we can start by looking at the launcher, and also I really want to give credits to Rattle for posting a really good explanation to this part. So Rattle's channel link will be in the description below. This is a very well-known creator. So yeah, when the launcher for BSSO was ran through a virus detection program, it alerts for a malware virus and a Trojan virus, which can both be very threatening. A Trojan virus gets its name from the Trojan horse, as it disguises itself as a legitimate application, but it is actually malware. Malware is a intrusive software that aims to steal data and damage or destroy computer systems. And the fact that this was found in the launcher for BSSO is really concerning, considering how many people have played BSSO. But still, there are very many people who have played BSSO without facing any issues. So if BSSO really does not contain a Trojan virus or malware, why does the antivirus client report so? There are several causes to this, one being that users just haven't started experiencing the malware yet, and that the virus will build up eventually, or that it really is spyware. Though even the developer of BSSO exclaims the importance of cybersecurity and claims that exploits are being pushed into open source programs every single day, and when 1,000 people look at them, they still can't see them. So I guess the virus thing is still up to debate. I mean, there has kind of been a trend of coming out and saying that, oh, I was hacked, my information got stolen, and I haven't really seen any legitimate receipts on this happening, so there's really no way to know. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. As I said, the reason to why the antivirus is reacting in this way may just be because it is a cracked game. But yeah, I would really watch Rattle's video on this if you would like a more in-depth explanation on this. Moving on to legality. Is BSSO legal? I mentioned the legality of BSSO before and how it is practically a copy of SSO, but is it really? The game itself, yes. You can all see that this is in fact the game Star Stable Online, but BSSO is a private server. A lot of games have dedicated private servers, and a private server isn't necessarily something that is made to harm the original game. The purpose of private servers is to experience things in a game which normally you cannot, which in this case is the old version of SSO. An example of what we normally would consider as a private server is, for example, Alicia Online. I know that a lot of people play Alicia Online that also play Star Stable, so a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about, but the game that is now Alicia Online is actually just a remade private server version of the original game, which was shut down. And the game is also now free to play, and you can't really buy anything in the game. And as private servers usually are, it's non-profit except for donations. But in BSSO's case, the developer actually directly profits off players and has added the possibility to pay for things like Star Rider and Star Coins. In Star Stable's terms of service, it actually states that you are not allowed to reproduce, republish, distribute, sell, license, decompile, disassemble, reverse engineer, modify, translate, or adapt the Star Stable property in any way except for the limited license granted to you by Star Stable as stated below. So just by looking at this, that means that BSSO is against Star Stable's terms of service. This does not immediately make it illegal, but it makes it possible for Star Stable to go forward with taking legal action against BSSO, which is something that a lot of people speculate that Star Stable has already done. Now, moving on to what I asked you to put a pin in earlier, the Horsey Games Preservation Team. I know, that's a long name. And I'm just going to call them Horsey Games just to save time. Horsey Games is a Discord server, or it's a group of people, but mostly united by this Discord server. And they have for a long time been at the forefront of the movement against BSSO by contributing taking down BSSO and reporting it, and that's kind of been their whole quest for a long time now. But although they are against BSSO, they're also actively trying to make their own private server, although one of the admins has tried to deny this, but I mean, the evidence is kind of there, they've kind of talked about it publicly and shared files and stuff. But anyways, I could go on and on about Horsey Games, triumphs and fails, but what I really want to bring up is one of the admins of their Discord servers, and a person which is a very central figure in all of this. This person I'm about to talk about has many names, some of them being Emily Bondevik, Aviana, Yijan, and Aristocat Skrellum. And apparently there's another name now, but I mean, this person constantly changes names, so I'm not really able to keep up with that. But yeah, this person has a lot of names. But for the sake of this video and causing as little confusion as possible, I'm going to be referring to this person as Aviana, but note that they also go by these other names. This person is also non-binary and go by they them pronouns, which is why I will be referring to them as that. Though many people have struggles believing that Aviana actually is not binary, as they have made several very disturbing claims about the LGBT plus community, which I will get into. I also want to mention that I myself am not a part of the LGBT plus community, so it's not really in my place to judge what is offensive and what is not. This is just simply me just shedding light on the actions of this person. So if you have anything to say and add to this situation, please comment below. I would love to hear that. We're going to start with talking about Aviana's blatant homophobia. As Aviana has come out with several homophobic statements as seen in the screenshots here. Aviana has also made some really weird statements, for example about how they think that Concord, which is a transgender horse, I don't mean to laugh at that, but the whole point of Concord is that he was reincarnated as a new horse. So obviously with the way that reincarnation works, that doesn't mean that he's transgender. I mean, I think that gender swapping is kind of just a part of reincarnation. So anyways, that's really weird. I honestly that's not the worst thing that this person has done, but I just wanted to include it because it made me go what the fuck. Aviana has also made some very wild claims about Eleanor Nightwalker, Rattle, and Kitty Spiderweb, which are all Sarcivil YouTubers. The claims include how Rattle apparently is a bad person who has harassed Aviana. Eleanor has made false claims about Aviana stealing art, and that Kitty is a manipulative, double-sided a-hole. Which I have not spoken to any of these YouTubers before, but I can safely assume that this is not true, solely based off Aviana's history of lying and making really crazy out-of-pocket claims. Aviana has also made several very brutal statements, which I'm honestly just not comfortable saying out loud, but I will provide some screenshots of it. And now for the doxing situation. Aviana used to date this one person, let's just call them X. So after Aviana and X's relationship ended, Aviana accused X of being a pedophile and a rapist, which we still don't know the source of these claims. Aviana has made a PDF file with so-called evidence against X, but everything in this PDF was alleged and there was no real proof to any of it. The only thing close to proof here was the fact that X has 2 NSFW games in their Steam library, though neither of these games contain any minors or illustrations of CP, because if they did, they obviously wouldn't be allowed on Steam anyways. In this evidence PDF, Aviana also went on to dox X and include very personal information, full body and face pictures, and the workplace of this person. So I won't provide this PDF, and I don't really think it's very important either, as there was basically no real evidence there. Aviana also went on to try to get X fired from their workplace, but failed. They also went on to try to report X to the police, which was also unsuccessful, but this obviously left X with a lot of emotional harm and trauma. In this screenshot, the white messages are X and the black messages are someone completely unrelated to the situation. There have been several very wild claims made about both Aviana and X, but as for now, it seems like we are only able to gather evidence on Aviana. As I said, X has a lot of allegations against them, but none of which are proved to be true. So I asked you guys to be considerate of that before commenting. Most of the information provided about Aviana I have is from a PDF provided by people on the Star Stable Reddit who have made 2 PDF files exposing the behavior of Aviana and posting screenshots. The person who made the PDF states that they want to make it clear that the document was not made with the intention that people should go and attack Aviana. This is purely made because I and many others believe everyone should be aware of their problematic behavior and not feed into the said problematic behavior. Personally, I think that Aviana is clearly a very disturbed individual, and I can understand how many people simply just don't understand what can make a person behave like this. There's really no way to figure out that, and we don't know. We just don't really know what's going on. Although this person has said some terrible things, I believe that it's best to just leave them be. And with that, I don't mean to not hold them accountable for their actions, but as the creator of the PDF stated, I think it's best to just not feed into it. If I was you, I would not contact Aviana or try to provoke this person further. No matter how this person has grown up or what type of disturbances they have, that's no excuse to be acting this way. I think it's best to just speak about their actions and agree that we definitely do not need people like this in the Star Stable community. In conclusion, the BSSO situation is a complicated and controversial event. One of the more controversial ones to happen in the Star Stable Online community in the past year, and this situation has really raised concerns about cybersecurity, legality, and just personal conflicts in general. The BSSO servers attracted players nostalgic for older versions of the game. Serious allegations of malware and data theft led to widespread distrust. So guys, please prioritize online safety. Avoid engaging with potentially harmful individuals like Aviana, and focus on verified and secure platforms for gaming. I do really wish to hear your guys' opinions on this, so feel free to comment down below. I always answer the comments I receive, and I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, I will have a couple links below for you guys to check out in relation to this situation. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!